hate to do this, but I'm gonna have to cut that much out of the wheelhouse. And when I make my mini tub patch for the inner wheelhouse, it'll need to be about 3 inches wide. So this plus 2 more inches. Should leave that there for next few weeks. A reminder of my mistakes. But now I've got room to weld this piece in. Also, I want to stretch this out some more. This needs to move. Okay, the inner fender that you see in the bed, got it tacked in. And I got this gap is pretty good all the way across. Plus I can still move this. So to start. View from the other side, it's holding pretty sturdy. I'm liking it. I know it looks awful, but at least it's positioned where I want it. Yeah. Okay. I went around this area all the way around pretty much with a hammer, sometimes with a 2x4, sometimes just hammer, and tried to stretch this out this way, the last inch or so, just hitting it on the edge. And I think I've made quite a bit of difference. I like the way this is lining up now. Kind of see. I can imagine jumping across there. That's pretty good. Where it was mismatched really bad. Now I can just do that, and it looks pretty good when I do that in that spot. And then the rest of it is pretty close. Of course, this thing I made is nowhere near the right shape anymore. But I might be able to use it. Since I made it extra wide, see, it's barely wide enough up there. And then see there, so it might work. Yeah, it's fitting better now than it has in a while. This is not too good over here. Of course, there's a lot of overlap right there. It's probably almost 3/4 of an inch. You can see the daylight right in there. Yeah. Quite a bit of overlap, so by the time I trim that down, it probably wouldn't be as bad as it looks right now. I'm still learning to TIG weld, but I am determined to learn it. I don't learn things as easily at my age as I used to, but why isn't that focusing? I should be happy it's not focusing. Let's see how bad this is. But one thing I am pretty happy about the overall shape. It's kind of what I was hoping for. I didn't want a big flat spot here like a lot of tubs look like. I wanted it to blend and without dropping this down that way like it wanted to. Anyway, I'm hoping I can do a better job in this section. But I did a lot of pounding on this edge outward to get it to do this. And I got this sitting good. That took a lot of work to get that close. Alright, I've discovered a pretty serious mistake that I made. When I cut this 2 inches out of the bed, including a large portion of longitudinal brace and a portion of this lateral brace, this brace, I took 2 inches out plus the blade width's about a 2 and an 1/8. All right, and when I did, the gap closed down a little bit. So I thought, oh, I should have braced the body up in places before doing this. So I wasn't really sure where it closed up. So I jacked up the bed area from underneath there and just jacked the whole thing up, and that didn't help. It made the gap even smaller. So I thought, okay, well I'll figure it out, and I just went on, just kept going. So I cut this out, moved it inboard 2 inches, made a 2-inch filler to go in here. And I was just standing back, just neat looking. Probably can't tell it on camera, but I thought, wow, that looks like it's drooping a little bit. So Got my 4-foot level. Put it up here. Okay. Got a problem here. It's rocking right there at the middle of that wheel well. Okay. I thought, well, maybe it's made that way. Okay. So I checked the other side. No. It's not made that way. It's straight. Straight as an arrow. No rocking whatsoever. So that 3/16 that I measured, where that gap closed up, when I cut out that section of the bed, was actually the bed rail sagging this way. So now I've got to cut probably 2/3, if not all, of this repair. Jack this up till it's straight, which shouldn't take but a few pounds of force, since it drooped on its own, and put in a wider patch. I'm not going to do any splicing on these old welds. I'm going to cut them out. So I've been happy about this anyway. So, one step forward, 2 steps back. Well, hopefully this will kill 2 birds with one stone. One, I really wasn't happy with this. I think for obvious reasons. And the bed rail, it turns out, was no longer straight. So it's flexible enough I can make it straight and hold it straight and put that new filler piece in it. And I didn't go all the way to the ends with the piece I cut out. I did go quite a ways in one cut to relieve the stress, but this is going to be much wider now. Also, I have to keep this. See, now it's perfect. It was looking kind of like that. So that's relaxed where it's supposed to be. Okay, I think that's ready for some short strand fiberglass filler. But I'll wait until this patch is done to do that. But I'm pretty happy with it. And I did check the bed rail. It's still straight. Weird enough, probably straighter now than it was right after I put these braces in. Here's what it looks like on the underside. Remember, I haven't welded from this side at all. So all that you see coming through is penetration. I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, I got started on the next patch. So I ran it through the English wheel a little bit to flare this way. And I put a little bit of crown in it to kind of help this edge go this way. And I've got a sandbag and all of my magnets on there. And a clamp. Just holding that one corner. See, I got it clamped way over there. I could have, of course, tack welded it in place and scribed it from the other side. Kind of do like a modified cutting butt, which I may do yet. But right now, I got it where I want it, and it's conformed close enough. I'm going to go and mark it with a Sharpie on the other side.